everyone, welcome back. We're back out here working on the Cabover. Over the last few days I've taken several clips of different things that we've been doing to it. We are starting on it, and we'll show you a few of the things that we found so far. The first thing I had to do, we got to get the cab lifted up, and to access the engine and things like that. So to start with, I've got a gantry in the garage that I needed to get out here so that we could use it to lift up the cab and a few other things. So I had to tear that down. That was an ordeal. And then the bigger ordeal was putting it up. So I had to put it up. I had to rebuild it out here around the frame. And at the time I didn't have anybody there to help. So it ended up being an adventure. Any OSHA people out there that might watch this, no drivers were injured in the in the assembly of that gantry crane. So okay, for the record, this is not a job for you by yourself. I was told the latches were released and they weren't. We're out here getting the cab lifted up. Let me show you what we got so far. The other day came out here and got the gantry out here, but it was all tore apart so we could move it. And so I ended up putting it back together. And then I was lifting the cab because the lift rams aren't working. I got the thing hooked up and tried lifting it, just wasn't. He told me it was already released, but it actually wasn't. So what I found is this one's broke on this side, so it wasn't catching. It was releasing out of the mount. However, that one on the driver's side was still engaged and locked into the base. So finally I got in there, was able to pry that out far enough that it released. But yeah, that was this has been a little bit of an ordeal trying to get this all worked up. Now the only problem I have at this point I may have to block the cab up where it is and then move the gantry a little more forward, because right now it's pulling back as much as it's pulling forward. So that's not really working out very well. But we've got it up enough, I think we can see what we got going on. So there's part of the problem for the lift ram. It's not even connected. We have the pump out here, and the hoses, as far as I can tell, I mean, they're chafed, but I don't know if it's out of oil or if we've got a leak somewhere, but there's a problem right there. It's not even connected up on this side. Oh, okay. On this side, it's even more fun. Here's the ram on the driver's side. It's bent. Apparently it was all the way out and it took off on them. And it broke the mount and it bent the shaft on the lift. So that would be why it's not working. So, okay, we're gonna have to do something with that. That's probably what took out the throttle. He's been running with this string. So, I mean, he was having it out the window when he was driving it up here. The string goes down to the pump and you actuate it that way. So, I'm guessing when the thing came down, it did some mean and nasty things to different parts. The engine and transmission does run. So we got the lift rams got to get something done with. Throttle's got to get something done with. Jared showed up this week before I left on a trip, and so we kind of went over a few things. I had the cab lifted up and we looked at things. When he showed up, we went over it a little bit more in detail and kind of got a game plan figured out what we're going to do from here to get to the hinge, like you were saying.
We'll set it back down, and then somehow we need to lift this corner up maybe an inch or two.
And then, so the hinge is right there.
Yeah, so this is the hinge pan here.
Okay.
This is supposed to be up right now.
Ah.
See on that
oh,
side.
okay, yeah, I see. So it, oh yeah.
It's broken and it's down all the way, but the cab's up, so.
Oh, okay.
That's why this corner's sitting down here and hitting the bumper. Over here, it's just because the bumper's bent. We'll probably just pull the bumper off to start with. We're not going to use this bumper.
So the hinge broke.
I don't know which happened first, the hinge broke or the ram.
Then they took the ram off. And then they tried lifting it with just one ram. And that didn't end well. So just the mounting that the ram went to on this side is what you got to do?
Yeah. Well, and it tore up this angled brace on the cab pretty good. There's an aluminum brace that comes up from the bottom corner up to here on an angle, and it's bent all to pieces. We'll have to replace that.
But we can get to that with the cab up.
Once the cab is up,
easier,
yeah.
So. Okay. What's the status on your cutoff?
So I've found one, haven't heard a price on it. I'm checking on another one tomorrow morning.
Okay.
See. Although I heard it's disc brakes, and I don't know if I want to go disc brakes on this build.
Ah.
But if the price is right, maybe we'll do disc. I don't know.
But all these are just those clamps.
Just two
Yeah,
clamps
we just take those clamps off and it'll come right down. And then that'll get me closer to the cab so it'll lift straight up instead of at an angle. However, to get we'll have to kind of redo that briefly.
So we'll pull those bolts out and see how they work. There's a cylinder on top of here, part of that hydraulic system, or when you first start pumping it up to lift it, it puts pressure to it and moves them over.
That could be
and
it.
Then it starts lifting it. So yeah, we'll have to take this one apart to figure out how to make another one of these, and take that one apart and put the one we make in. But we should be able to just, whatever this is up in here, cut that out, cut that shape out.
Yeah.
Put it over there.
That's about as far as we've gotten at this point. Yeah, there's a few things that we hadn't planned on, and now that we've seen it, you know, that's kind of altered what we were planning on doing on a few things, but really those things aren't that big of a deal. I mean, the hinge, we knew there was a problem with the lift anyway, so, but we were able to determine what we needed to do. So he's checking for parts on that. He's also gotten a few other options as far as the rear end cutoffs that he was looking at. So he's going to make a decision on that. So we'll update you on the next one probably on what he's coming up with there. So the project is going forth. So anyway, that'll wrap this one up. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.